Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to our channel. On this week's episode, we're continuing our adventure in the Canonara area. We go and check out our very first gorge here in WA. We visit a tree with a very, very infamous history, and we get involved in one of the best sunset experiences that I think you can do anywhere in Australia. So when I go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up for the next 20 minutes or so, come and join Ali and I for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? We come out this morning to find the not so secret spring. It's going to remain a secret today because we unfortunately once again followed bloody Google Maps, and we've put ourselves onto a little track which has been, I've got to say, a lot of fun. Al, she's not agreeing.
Maybe.
We think we might be the first two cars to come up here in about 10 years, but because we've had to clear a few trees along the way, but we can see light at the end of the tunnel. But check this out. So we think what we've got is just the maintenance track for the fence, and it obviously doesn't get maintained a lot, but there's been, yeah, but it's made for a good morning. And
Sorry.
just had to stop the car from being scratched a little bit more. All right, so we're going to continue off this track now, and then I think we're going to the Five Rivers Lookout, which is near Wyndham. I think that's our plan.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be coming back to the Secret Springs for a little while.
I think really we probably need to do a little bit more research.
We certainly do. Anyway, let's get into Wyndham. So we're just making our way around to the entrance to the grotto. There's 144 steps here to negotiate. You can see the staircase goes down to the pool below where it's quite safe to come and swim. Just a little bit about the grotto though, from the top of the wall here down to the bottom of the pool is over 100 metres, so be very, very careful if you're walking near the edge. So here it is, it's the grotto, it's beautiful. I imagine in the wet season the water just pours over the tops of these cliffs. You can swim down here, but I definitely wouldn't swim in here today, it stinks. So what did you think of your first walk into a WA gorge?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was, it's a reasonably easy walk down, isn't it?
It is an easy walk down, yeah.
Yeah, it's just got to be mindful of where you put your feet because there's no handrails or anything like that, but it is easy to walk down and have a look, and you are rewarded with a beautiful view. It's quite cool down here, isn't it?
It is cool, yes.
Yeah, it's quite green and things like that. But as I said before, the swimming hole today is definitely a no swimming hole. It's got a little bit of a smell to it, a bit swampy, and there's a bit of a slick across the top. But I'm sure here in the wet season, or after it's been flushed out after the wet season, it'd be a fantastic place to come down, spend a day. Pretty easy to get your lunch and stuff down if you want to do that. And there's plenty of Tarzan ropes and stuff hanging around, so you can have a bit of a swing while you're down here. Now, as I've said before, I'm no rockologist, but we were just having a bit of a talk about the different layers of the rock here. And you can see here, this looks like a granite or a sandstone or something like that, but below it is all of these layers of shale. And then it goes back to that same granity sort of layer. So I can only imagine that this was like the bottoms of creek beds for, I don't know, millennia, I suppose. I really don't know. But if you do know, hit us up in the comment section because I'd be very interested to find out. Since we come into the Kimberley, we've seen plenty of Boabs and they're bloody beautiful to see. But check this one out, it's just clinging onto the rocks over here in the Grotto Canyon. Look at that one there, it's just hanging on. I imagine if those rocks were ever to give way, that would be the end of that tree. But what a, I don't know, just a very unique place for it to grow. That's amazing. Just come up from the grotto. We're going to have a little bit of lunch here, make a couple of wraps with some chicken. But we're having some Asian salad on it, aren't we, Al? Because when we were at Lake Argyle the other night, we had some dinner in the pub. They kept on screwing our order up. So about every, 10 minutes, they kept on bringing out the same food. So the girl just said, look, we'll put it in takeaway containers, we'll take it for you. So we had burgers and salads and all sorts of stuff. Why not? So we're going to finish off the salad day and a couple of wraps should be pretty good. We're just on our way into Wyndham and we couldn't resist the temptation but to stop at a lookout which is called Maggie's Valley. It's absolutely beautiful when you come out here. These mountain ranges, it's just big country. It's unbelievable to come and have a look at. But if you come up here, there's some tables and stuff. You can sit down and have your lunch. You can admire the view. But it's called Maggie's Valley because Maggie Nicholson, she was the first person to come through this way in a motor vehicle. So after that, after she'd come through, they just referred to it as Maggie's Valley and it's still known as that today. It's a very interesting place to come and see. Great place to sit down, maybe have a break, maybe eat your lunch and just enjoy the view. It's a very common sight in the outback. The road trains here in Western Australia, they can be 53.5 metres long. I don't think this one's quite that long, but geez, I tell you what, he must have a loading because that engine is really working to get up the hill. Have to excuse the truck, but check this out for a great idea. The people at the Wyndham Oasis, which is just probably about 50 k's up the road, have put a copy of their food menu here. So if you're coming through and you're feeling a bit peckish and you bring your own food, drop in at the Wyndham, you might get yourself a good meal. So we're just heading out now to the prison Boab tree, and there's a prison Boab tree from what we understand at both ends of the Ord River Road. So archaic bloody thing, but still a part of our history. So we'll get out and we'll check it out. So we're just cruising out now as we head towards the prison Boab tree. Did not expect this at all. Besides all the scenery, there's these massive salt lakes out here. They're great. They're on both sides of the car. Just flick the camera on this side out. And once again, they go as far, you have to excuse the dirty window, but they go as far as the eye can see. It's really nice, isn't it?
It is beautiful. And this is our view.
Yet another water crossing. So we come out this afternoon. This is the prison tree. Now this is the one that you'll find on the eastern side of the Ord River Road. The other one's over in Derby. This one here, there's not a lot of information I can tell you about, so I'm going to look it up and just add it in right here because someone has taken the sign.
Well, here it is, the infamous Wyndham Boab prison tree, or also known as the Hillgrove lockup, which was allegedly used by the coppers back in the 1890s as a quick lockup for Aboriginal prisoners which were being marched off to trial. The police supposedly noticed that the tree was hollow, so they cut the hole that you can see here in the front so they could lock the people up inside. Still sits out on the King River Road, which is an historic stock route. But for the local Aboriginal people, including the Miriwoong people, this tree has always been a key spot for food, water and shelter and holds deep spiritual significance.
So that was the prison Boab tree, but on our way up we saw a sign and the sign just said there was some Aboriginal rock art a little bit further back down the road. So we're going to check that out on our way back towards where we're going to, the Five Rivers Lookout. Yep. To the Five Rivers Lookout. So we took the turn off to the site we saw the rock art. You probably drive up about 600 metres along a small dirt track, and then you come up and you walk up onto the side of the hill here. And when you come up, you can see the rock art in the overhang of the caves. Keep your eye out for when you walk along. It's a little bit hard to see. I don't know what that is. It's got a long end on it though. But yeah, you definitely got to be looking up because the most of it's up and under the overhangs that you'll see on the rock as you walk along. Oh yeah, check that out. Oh, that's cool. It actually brings up the contrast a little bit, but there's a couple of hands in here. I think that looks like a bit of a snake or something running around through there, but yeah. Very interesting, very old of course, but very interesting. So that was the Aboriginal art that we saw out here this afternoon. It's a little bit hard to see. It's either very, very old or it's just very faded because of the weather. But you can definitely see that a community may have lived here. There's lots of caves, there's lots of evidence of, you know, fire and cooking, and there's obviously a lot of wildlife around the area as well. So very interesting place. So if you're coming out to the prison tree near Wyndham, make sure you pop in and check out the Aboriginal art on your way through.
Trained professionals.
Well, I don't know what lives in this hole. I'm not going there to find out, but it goes back a fair way.
Probably better crawl in there, only just.
I was going to say.
So our last stop for the day is the Five Rivers Lookout here in Wyndham. What a beautiful way to spend the end of your day if you come out and you visit the town. There's a little rock wallaby just sitting just there in front of us. Look at him. Just staring straight at us. There he goes, he might move now. There he goes. So this afternoon we come out to have a look at the Argyle homestead. It's just out by Lake Argyle. It's a bit of a, well, it's not a bit of, it's actually the house that was owned by the Durack family, and they were very, very famous as cattle owners, and they moved a huge herd that come across from Queensland. They brought them all the way over here to settle into the Ord, and they've owned some huge properties, and also famous for a couple of other things like writing books. And I remember reading one at school which was called The Pickaninnies.
The homestead's not sitting in its original location. In fact, its original location is probably about 20 metres below water somewhere out in Lake Argyle. When the dam started to fill after they built it, it filled a lot quicker than anybody anticipated, and they didn't have too much time to get out. But painstakingly, they dismantled the home and they've brought it back up here, stone by stone, and rebuilt it in this new location well above the waterline. Today it's a museum, and it gives a great insight and information about what life was like back here in the Kimberley and about the family who once owned the home.
This is the outlet to the hydroelectric station here on the Ord River at Lake Argyle. That water that's pumping out through those pipes there, the force behind it is unbelievable. It's huge. Located right next to the the power station. You can come out here, there's a small boat ramp. It's got a real drop off. Check this out. You'd definitely be launching your boat if you're coming down here, but it puts you onto the Ord River and you can follow it down through there. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it comes out at Lake Canonara. We're just about to head out onto the sunset cruise, but while we're waiting for the bus, we thought we'd take a quick walk around the caravan park here at Lake Argyle to show you another camping option. It comes with all the normal facilities, so toilet, showers, laundry blocks, dump points, all those sorts of things. It also has lots of different camping options for swags, tents, roof-toppers, caravans, whatever you turn up in. And of course, the Lake Argyle Caravan Park is famous for its infinity pool and beautiful scenes of sunsets across Lake Argyle. This is a couple of the sites when you come out to the caravan park. I was just talking to one of the guys who's come down. He's staying on 132 with a 22-foot caravan. He reckons he's so fearful about taking his caravan off, because he said as soon as I let it go, he said the bloody caravan's going to go down the hill. And I've got to say, I've got to agree with him. The slope is ridiculous.
So the last stop for us, and a fitting way to finish our stay here in this part of the Kimberley, is the Lake Argyle Sunset Cruise. I've got to say, this is something that you really need to put on your list of things that you're going to do if you're coming up into this part of Western Australia. You go on about a 3 to 3.5 hour journey across this massive freshwater lake. I've got to say, they measure it by Sydney harbours, which you could only do in Australia. I think they said it was about 34 Sydney harbours worth of water that was in there at the time that we were there, and it wasn't completely full. Your guide steers you around all the different bays and islands, and you get to look at lots of local wildlife, including a couple of freshwater crocodiles and some wallabies that we saw up that lived in around the rocks and those sorts of areas. But the thing that I enjoyed the most was fishing for the anglerfish, or the anglerfish fishing for us.
Oh, it's quick.
Oh, wow.
They're all chasing in.
Had one little shot.
Yeah.
After we finished fishing, or being fished by, the anglerfish, we headed to our sunset location for one of the most unique sunset experiences I think that we have ever had anywhere that we've been on the road in
So we come out this afternoon and we're doing the sunset cruise, and oh, I'm drowning, and at the same time you get in the water, you watch the sunset, have a drink. What do you reckon?
It's cold.
I'm sinking.
My big shivering champagne pipe.
The sun's what, mate, yeah, it's got it. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Ali and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Come and join us next Saturday when we trade in our caravan for our tent and we head down to the Bungles and we stay a couple of nights in the National Park. It is a beautiful place and an absolutely must-do if you're travelling around Australia. If you like today's episode, make sure you give us a like before you go. If you have any questions or comments, hit us up in the comment section. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it really allows our channel to grow. But until next Saturday at 7 o'clock, you guys have yourselves a great week. We can't wait to see you. Hang on. We're going to see you on Wednesday night. We have a special edition of Trip for Two Australia. Got something very exciting that we can't wait to share with you. So we'll see you Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Until then, see you later.